Today we're going to be going over how to use our blueprints in creating our 3D prototype of our balsa wood bridge. As you can see here, our blueprint is completed. We have our witness lines, correct dimensions, all of our information is filled out. Now it's basically cutting the pieces to the correct position and putting them in place like a puzzle. So like our blueprints, we want to start with our lower beam first. So we will get a piece of balsa wood, we will put it on one side, and then we will measure where it shall end. Put a line. I would put a little line on this side, meaning we're going to cut on this side of the line. Cutting on this side of the line might make it too short. I take my easy cutters, I hold them using my thumb as a brace so I can easily maneuver the balsa wood, cut it on that side of the line, then immediately close my easy cutters. Leaving them open is very dangerous and you will lose some of your balsa wood. Next, we will take that piece of balsa wood and we will place it on our design, placing a tack on one side and a tack on the other side. Likewise, doing it on the other end. One should never place it through the wood, as this will weaken the structure of the wood. Now that we have the lower beam in place, we must take care of the top beam. We will go through the same process and cut the wood. Putting a line, putting a small line on the side that will be cut. Easy cutters will be opened by pulling these together and releasing the brake. When placing these tacks in, it is imperative that you do not place these tacks where there will be other pieces of balsa wood or glue. It is almost impossible to get these out afterwards. So once we have the top, the bottom, we want to take care of the sides. In order to cut the sides correctly, I would suggest looking directly over the blueprint. And if you follow this beam where it's going to be put in place, follow this line. As this line continues, it will continue over this beam. This line follows this line. You have now marked the correct angle to be cut. Cut along that angle. Now you have that cut. We can place that in there, then follow along and cut the next one along this line. Here is our cut beam. As you can see, it fits in there very nicely, and we will put that in place with the tacks like we have before. Once these two sides are done, we will continue to do vertical beams, then these angle cuts will come last. As you're cutting and placing these beams in place, I would suggest putting a little glue and then dabbing each end that will abut another piece of wood. While tacking them, they will dry overnight, and by the next day, you'll be ready to move on.